Hi, my name is James Wiedenbeck. I am the general manager of the Tinderbox in Buffalo, New York. One of my favorite places to travel to is Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been going there for years, lots and lots of years. And over those many, many trips, I have compiled a list of my 6 top places to have a cigar in Las Vegas, Nevada. This list, which I'm going to share with you, is not a countdown. This is not a countdown from 6 to number 1, and number 1 is the top place. This list, they're all top places. Every place has a different vibe. They all have different reasons I go to them. So every place on this list is a winner. This is not a countdown. Now, make sure you stay tuned until the very end of this video, because what I'm going to do is give you my pick for the top cigar experience in Las Vegas. Not the top place to go to, but if I had my pick of the perfect cigar night in Las Vegas, Nevada, this would be it. And I've done it a bunch of times, so I know what I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's get to the list. As you might be able to tell from the Monte Cristo Epic that I am smoking right now, the first spot on the list is the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar, located inside of Caesar's Palace. Yeah, it's inside Caesar's Palace, right off the casino floor. If you're familiar with where Cleopatra's Barge is at all, it's right down the corridor from there. So it's right off the casino floor, very easy to get to, very easy to find. The bar and lounge is an absolutely fantastic place to sit and smoke a cigar and relax and have a couple drinks, whether you're by yourself or with a group of friends. Pro tip, if you're by yourself or with somebody who doesn't mind you playing video poker, they do have video poker machines in the bar top. So, pro tip, sit at the bar, play video poker while you're smoking your cigar, and the bartenders are allowed to comp your drinks. So, if you want to get some free drinks while you're smoking a cigar and playing video poker, the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar is a perfect place to do it. Now, it's not just a bar, it's not just a lounge, they have a humidor there as well, and the humidor is extremely well stocked. Not just with product from Altadis USA, but from just about every other manufacturer out there. The stock that they have is truly astounding. And it's not just a smattering of stuff. You can tell this is a curated collection of cigars. And the staff for the humidor is very, very knowledgeable. Whether you are an aficionado or whether you are a first-time smoker, they will be able to help you choose the right cigar for your time at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar. I can't speak enough good about the staff there, whether it's the bartenders, whether it's the wait staff, whether it is the staff in the humidor. The staffing at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar is absolutely epic. Now, this is a favorite spot for me in the morning. They do have a great coffee service, French press coffee. I like to go in, pick out a nice, shorter side cigar, and sit with a couple of cups of coffee in the morning and start my day in a nice, relaxing way. There's no better place to do it than at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar. The second spot on this list is Rumbar. Rumbar is located at the Mirage and is one of the many reasons why the Mirage is my absolute favorite place to stay when I'm in Las Vegas. Another reason why Mirage is my favorite place to stay is the proximity to the upcoming third place on this list. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Now, Mirage is it's not a cigar bar per se. It's a cigar-friendly bar. You're not going to get any weird looks lighting up a cigar at Rumbar. They will bring ashtrays out. They will ask you if you need anything. It's cigar-friendly. They do have some cigars on the menu, not many. The prices aren't horrible, but there's not a lot of selection. So make sure you bring your own. That's what I would suggest. And they definitely don't mind if you do. So bring your own cigar, whatever you want to sit and relax with, and that is A-okay with them. Now, another great thing about Rumbar is where it is. It's located, like I said, at the Mirage, and it's in the front of Mirage, off to the side, and it is on the Strip without being on the Strip. It's set back just enough. It's in the perfect location, I think. You're close enough to the Strip to see the craziness going on, to see the lights, to people watch, but you're off just enough where you're almost like an outsider peering in. You're off just enough where you're on the Strip, but you're not affected by the Strip, if you catch my drift. It's a great spot to go in the evening. I go at night. During the day, it's okay. You're not right in the sun. They have enough shade there, but it's not the same. Go at night. Definitely go at night. If you're a rum drinker, this is a great spot for you, hence the name Rumbar. They have a great selection of rum. The last time I was there, the first night I was in town, I went to Rumbar, and they were actually still celebrating Cinco de Mayo. So they had a mariachi band walking around, and I got sucked into the moment and ordered a margarita instead of my usual rum or rum drink. My favorite drink to get there is the Mai Tai. It's a stronger drink, so if you're not a drinker, be careful. Be careful with their Mai Tai. It's a little strong, but it's a great spot to go to have a smoke, enjoy a cigar, relax. Even if you're not staying at Mirage, one of the great things about Mirage is where it is on the Strip. It's kind of mid-strip. It's kind of close to everything. So even if you're not staying at Mirage, head down and check out Rumbar. It is not to be missed. If you like my picks so far, give me a thumbs up and like the video. Also, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to be notified when new videos get released, hit that little bell icon next to subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thank you. The third spot on this list is Casa Fuente. Casa Fuente is located inside the Forum Shops at Caesar's Palace, and it's a very short walk from where I usually stay at Mirage. In fact, it's a shorter walk from Mirage than it is if you're actually staying at Caesar's Palace. I go out the front side door of Mirage, around the corner, inside the front, the first front door of the Forum Shops, and up 2 escalators and down 1, which is probably the fanciest escalator you'll ever ride on, and you're right there at Casa Fuente. Now, Casa Fuente is a cigar bar. It is a cigar bar with a very large walk-in humidor, and it's stocked with absolutely everything you can think of from Arturo Fuente and J.C. Newman. Now, you won't find cigars from any other manufacturer here at Casa Fuente. You're not going to walk into this humidor and expect to grab a Romeo or a Macanudo. It is just cigars from Arturo Fuente and J.C. Newman, and it is one of the only places on earth where you can get one of these, which is the Casa Fuente cigar. Casa Fuente does also carry an assortment of Fuente accessories, such as hats, shirts, ashtrays. They carry some assorted stuff, such as lighters and cutters as well. They also carry butane. The reason I mention butane is when I fly and I'm checking baggage, I fly with the lighter in my checked baggage. And I use one of these TSA-approved travel cases, and I fly with the lighter empty, because that's what you're supposed to do. Well, whenever I land somewhere, I need butane. And when I land in Vegas, I get my butane at Casa Fuente for 2 reasons. One, the prices are reasonable. For being on the Strip, for being Casa Fuente, the price of their butane is reasonable. And they have it in the small cans. I don't have to buy some large monstrosity that I'm never going to go through because it's not like I can fly home with it. So I get the small can of butane. It doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. It's also an excuse to get to Casa Fuente as soon as humanly possible after I land. The bar at Casa Fuente is absolutely magnificent and carries a ton of high-end liquor. If you're a Scotch or bourbon drinker, you're going to find something you want. If you're a whiskey drinker, you're going to find it. If you're a rum drinker, you're going to find it. They carry a ton of high-end liquor. Now, the thing to get at Casa Fuente, you've probably heard it before, is the mojito. The mojito is the drink that put Casa Fuente on the map, and yeah, that's the drink that they're famous for. And I fell into the trap. Whenever I visited Casa Fuente, I always walked in and said, I'll take a mojito. And I never explored the drink menu at all. I just had the mojito because that's what I was told to do when I went to Casa Fuente. That's what I did the first time I was there. And I loved the mojito, so I never looked for anything else. And this past time I looked at the drink menu and found that they have a caipirinha. Now, if you don't know what that is, you're not alone, because when I found it on a drink menu some years ago, I also said, what the heck is this thing? And it's a really simple drink. It's made with sugar, with lime, and kind of a Brazilian rum made with sugar cane called cachaça. And it's light, it's refreshing, and it's stronger than you think it is, and it'll mess you up bad if you're not careful with them. So they had it on the menu at Casa Fuente, and I tried it, and I now have a new favorite when I go to Casa Fuente. So if you've been there before and you've had the mojito and that's what you're going to have the next time, maybe look at the drink menu and explore it a little bit before you make your mind up. If you've never been to Casa Fuente before, have the mojito. It's delicious. It's probably the best mojito you'll ever have in your life. But for your second drink, make sure you stay for at least 2. You're going to want to explore this drink menu and try something else. So try it out. Try the mojito. Try the caipirinha next time you are at Casa Fuente. The fourth spot on this list is walking the strip. Yeah, just very simply walk the strip with a cigar. It is fantastic, whether it be at night when the crowds are out or whether it be early in the morning when there's nobody out. Now, follow me here. I know a lot of you are partying hard and you're not up early morning unless you're still up, but take one night out of your trip. Just one night out of your trip and get to bed at a decent hour and wake up early. And I'm talking like 7 o'clock. Get out on the strip around 7 o'clock. There's nobody out there, and it's just a magical time. There's nobody on the strip. You can walk the strip by yourself pretty much, smoking a cigar and taking it all in. It's really a fantastic time. I normally will walk somewhere for breakfast from my resort. I normally stay at Mirage, and I walk elsewhere with a cigar early in the morning, and it's great. I love doing it. Now, what is there to do besides just walk around? There's a ton of stuff to see along the strip, and doing it with a cigar just makes it that much better. Whether it be looking at the Eiffel Tower at Paris, or whether it be the fountains at Bellagio, or the volcano show at Mirage, there's not to mention the people watching. The people watching on the strip is fantastic, and doing it with the cigar just makes it that much better. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to see as you're walking up and down the strip with the cigar. Trust me, it's one of the greatest things to do in Vegas. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video for my idea of the best cigar night experience in Las Vegas. The fifth spot on this list is in Fuego. If you've been to Vegas before, you've probably been to at least a couple of the places that I've mentioned already, and you're probably saying to yourself, and what? And who? And Fuego. There's probably a good reason you haven't been to it or heard of it before. Is it's not on the strip. It is slightly off strip, and it is not a cigar bar. It is a cigar store and lounge. This is a place where locals shop and smoke. Now, when I say it's located slightly off strip, if you know where the Sahara is, it is located close to there. So if you're staying at the Sahara, I don't know why you would be, but that's a whole different video. You can walk to Fuego from the Sahara. It is a very easy walk, even in 100-degree heat. You can do it. If you're staying at the Strat, same thing. It's a slightly longer walk, and I don't know if I do it at night, but it is doable to walk it from the Strat. If you're staying downtown, you're going to need transportation. If you're staying on the Strip proper, you're going to need transportation. One of the ways you can do that is if you are using the monorail. If you have a monorail pass, the monorail stops at the Sahara. You can use that stop to get off and then walk to Fuego and back. So that's a way to easily get to Fuego if you're staying on the Strip. Don't miss Fuego. Get there. Whether you have to walk, whether you have to take the monorail, whether you have to take an Uber, get your butt there. Now, as I mentioned, Fuego is not a cigar bar. It is a cigar store and lounge. And it is a place where Vegas locals shop and smoke. And why? Bunch of reasons why. One is their selection. They have a great selection of cigars. Their walk-in humidor is stocked full of just about every brand you can think of, from the big manufacturers to smaller boutiques. And Fuego also rolls their own cigars on premise. And I'm smoking one now called the Michael Antonio, named after the owner, I believe. And it's just a great smoke. Full disclosure, this one was given to me by the owner. I did buy a bunch of cigars, their cigars, while I was there, and I've smoked through about half of them so far, and just great smokes. So when, I'm not going to say if, when you go to Fuego, pick up their cigars. You pick up, some other brands that you may know and love, but don't sleep on their own lines. They even have their own flavored cigars. They have an extensive selection of their own stuff, and make sure you pick some up while you're there because they're great cigars. Now, we mentioned selection, price. When you go to a spot on the Strip, you go to a cigar bar on the Strip, you're paying a premium for those cigars. You are, and yeah, you don't really care. You go to a nice cigar bar and you pay what you have to pay to get a great cigar and a great experience, and that's what you do. Well, if you go to Vegas and you want to pick up a bunch of cigars, Fuego is the place to do it. You can go to Las Vegas with your travel humidor empty and stock it up in Fuego. Their prices are like your local store's prices. It's not, the prices are not inflated like they are on the Strip. So their pricing is just great. You can buy a ton of cigars there, and you're not going to get soaked like you do at some of the other places on the Strip, which the other places on the Strip I'm sure have much higher overhead, and you're paying for the cigar bar experience. So nothing to, I'm not speaking bad about cigar bars that tend to be a little higher priced. It is what it is. Everybody does business the way they do it, and the way Fuego does it is it's a local spot. They don't deal with a ton of tourists, so they don't have tourist prices. Now the lounge that I mentioned, it's spacious, it's comfortable. They have very comfortable leather seating, and at each seat is along with the ashtray, is your own cutter and lighter there. So very, very comfortable lounge, and it's also comfortable. When I walked in, I walked in the door, and there was a bunch of what I knew were regular customers sitting around. You could just tell from the way they were talking, mannerisms. One guy had his dog with him. You could tell they were regulars. And they all kind of turned and looked at me as I walked in the door, and I'm sure assessed me immediately as a tourist because I had a backpack on my back. And instead of immediately, turning and writing me off, everyone in unison kind of raised their hand and said, "Hi, how's it going?" and welcomed me into the space. And it was heartwarming. It was like walking into my local lounge. It was really a fantastic experience. And I mean, because the lounge is kind of in the front of the store, so the locals welcomed me. And then as I got in, the staff and the owner welcomed me as well. And it was just, it made me feel at home almost immediately. And it was a great experience. So don't think, it's a local spot and I'm a tourist and they're going to treat me different. They didn't. They treated me like a member of the family there, and it was just a great experience. So if you want to go somewhere and just have a smoke in a lounge that kind of feels like your lounge at home while you're in Las Vegas, and Fuego's the place to do it. One other thing I want to say about En Fuego, and it goes along the same lines, is their own cigars. They do have a cigar roller on premise, like I said. If you are like me, and I got married in Las Vegas, so if that's your plan, if you're going to get married in Las Vegas, their cigar roller is available for events. So if you are going to have any kind of event in Las Vegas, such as a wedding, you can contact En Fuego and you can use their cigar roller at your event. So it just an option out there. If you're going to have an event like a wedding in Vegas, they do have that ability to send their cigar roller to your event, and I'm sure it would be a fantastic experience for your guests. Their cigars are truly wonderful. So there's an option for you. If you're going to get married out in Vegas, like I did, get their cigar roller. I wish I knew about them when I got married out there, because I definitely would have had them. Don't sleep on En Fuego. Get your butt there. It's off strip. It's slightly off strip, but make sure not to miss out on En Fuego. The sixth and last, but certainly not least, spot on this list is the Davidoff Cigar Bar, located directly on the Strip in front of the Fashion Show Mall, kind of across the street from the Wynn. And as the name would suggest, the Davidoff Cigar Bar is a cigar bar. There's a beautiful bar inside. They've got just about any scotch, whiskey, bourbon that you can think of. They are very well stocked. There's seating directly at the bar. There's seating around the bar. And I think the best spot to sit at the Davidoff Cigar Bar is on their large outside patio. It is a big one, and there is plenty of shade, plenty of misters for even the steamiest of Vegas days. So if it's hot outside, don't worry about it. You can sit outside at the Davidoff Cigar Bar, and like I said, it's my favorite spot to sit when I go. It's just beautiful there. For whatever reason, there tends to generally be a breeze right there, so it makes it very, very comfortable to sit outside, like I said, even on the steamiest of Vegas days. Now, the walk-in humidor at the Davidoff Cigar Bar is kind of on the small side, but it is very well stocked for its size. They have not just a large selection of Davidoff cigars, but they also have a large selection from other manufacturers as well. One of the things that really caught my attention was they had a larger selection of Fuente Opus X than Casa Fuente had at the time that I was there. It was a very nice selection, and a great selection of other cigars. I always grab a Davidoff when I'm there. They didn't have it when I was there 'cause it was on back order, but they do have a special Las Vegas Davidoff cigar. I always grab a couple when I'm there. They're a little pricey, but trust me, they're worth it. Now, the cigars and drinks at the Davidoff Cigar Bar are not the cheapest you're going to find in Las Vegas. Far from it. It is a little expensive, but the place is beautiful, the experience is phenomenal, and it's worth it. Definitely pick up a cigar and enjoy yourself at the Davidoff Cigar Bar. They do run specials on different days of the week as well as during happy hour. I think just about every day there's specials for happy hour. So if you want to get away a little less expensive, hit up those specials and they will help save you money. Now, the staff at the Davidoff Cigar Bar, just second to none. Just a phenomenal staff, from the bar staff to the humidor staff, just truly top-notch staff. The bartenders can make anything you want, and the humidor staff is very knowledgeable, not just on Davidoff product, but in cigars in general. If you're not an aficionado, they won't steer you wrong. They are a wealth of cigar knowledge, and I was quite impressed. It's a short walk from many strip casinos. Don't miss out on the Davidoff Cigar Bar. And now my pick for the best cigar night experience in Las Vegas. This is a cigar-filled night. This is go big or go home, and we're starting early. We're starting at happy hour, and we're starting at the Davidoff Cigar Bar. Why are we starting off at the Davidoff Cigar Bar for happy hour? Because one, we're starting early. We're starting off during happy hour. And two, the Davidoff Cigar Bar has some great specials during happy hour. So we're going to take advantage of that. This is going to be a long night, so we're going to take advantage of the specials. We're going to have a couple of drinks and a cigar at the Davidoff Cigar Bar to get things started. After that, we are going to head over to Fuego. We're going to take a cab or a ride share over to Fuego because it's close to dinner. Fuego has a great selection and some of the best prices around. So what I do is I go to Fuego, I stock up for the remainder of my trip. The cigars that I smoke in Vegas when I am playing in the casino or walking around the strip, I don't bring to Vegas with me. I go to Fuego and buy them there. Like I said, great selection, fantastic staff, and great prices. Don't miss out. Now, from Davidoff, we go to Fuego, we stock up, and then basically right in the same plaza, 30-second walk from Fuego, is my favorite steakhouse in Las Vegas. It is the Golden Steer. It's Old Vegas. And when I say Old Vegas, this place was opened in 1958. It is a Old Vegas staple. The Rat Pack ate there. Not only does it look Old Vegas, but it's Old Vegas service. And if you don't know what I mean by that, the service is just impeccable. This is one of those places where the waiters have been there for 30 years. You know the places I'm talking about. The food is phenomenal. The waiters, the staff is great. The service is just out of this world. And my favorite steakhouse in Las Vegas. So if you're going to have a cigar night, you got to have a steak dinner with the cigar night. There's no better place to get it than the Golden Steer. So my pick, the 12-ounce filet. Since the first time I've had it, I haven't deviated from it. I'm not steering you wrong here. Sorry, I had to do it. 12-ounce filet is my pick. And don't leave before dessert. You got to have dessert there. I know you're going to stuff yourself with a big steak. Have dessert. In my choice, they make a bananas Foster that is flambéed tableside. And it's to die for. Don't miss out on it. Have dessert. From there, you are going to take a cab or ride share over to Caesar's Palace. And what's at Caesar's? Well, gambling and fun is at Caesar's, but you also have the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar. So I either gamble first and then have a cigar, or if I'm really in the mood for a cigar, I have one of those, and I can even do some gambling at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar because they have video poker built into the bar top. So I can have a cigar, I can have some drinks, I can have some video poker, and I combine them all into one and have a cigar at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar. It usually takes me about 20 minutes in their humidor to pick something out. They've got a big selection, and their staff is great. They will help you select something, and I normally need some help. Even though I'm in the business, I wander around that humidor. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. What the heck am I going to smoke after this dinner? And usually it's the staff who decides for me. I just put it in their hands and let them hand me something, and they haven't given me a bad one yet. So we have Davidoff Cigar Bar. We have Fuego to stock up. We have Golden Steer for dinner. We have Monte Cristo Cigar Bar over at Caesar's. And how I would always end my night is I go over to, well, I go home and I go to the Mirage, which is my home resort, really. I stay there every time I'm in town, pretty much. And I do some gambling, and I end my night at Rumbar. As you saw earlier in this video, I'm trying to be zen with this. Rumbar is closing as of July 25th, 2021. I'm doing my best to reserve judgment because we have no idea what's coming next. It could be an even better spot to have a cigar. I don't know. But Rumbar is closing. So what I would normally do is end my night at Rumbar with a cigar before I go to bed. Next time I'm in Vegas, I may have to amend my best cigar night. So I may have to come out with another one of these videos with an amendment and tell you where I now end my evening. But what I would normally do, start off at Davidoff for happy hour, couple of drinks there, over to Fuego, stock up with cigars for the remainder of my trip, over to Golden Steer for a wonderful steak dinner, from there to Caesar's Palace for some gaming, for a cigar at the Monte Cristo Cigar Bar, and then home to Mirage and Rumbar where I end my evening. That is my pick for the best cigar night experience in Las Vegas. Like I said, we went hard there. I mean, count it up. You're having at least one cigar at Davidoff. You're having another cigar at Monte Cristo, and ending my night with a cigar at Rumbar. That's 3 cigars in a night from like happy hour on. So it's a good number of cigars for an evening. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any questions, you have any comments about any of the places that I have mentioned, please leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And again, thank you very much for watching. I hope it was fun. I hope it was informative. Let me know in the comments below. And I hope to see you in another video. Thank you.